Hello again, thanks for joining. So HO scale little green coaches, there's a lot of choice out there. What I've got here is two examples from Marklin, and I don't think you would really believe that these were Marklin. They're very reminiscent of the kind of tinplate ones that Marklin did way back, but these are actually made out of plastic, and we're going to give them a bit of a closer look today. So this is the first one. We're going to have a look at the coach. It's a second class four-wheeled green coach, and it's got a basic level of decoration on it. Underneath here you can see the logo Marklin, and it says made in Germany. It's a plastic chassis. It's got metal couplings which are held on with screws, and there's a bit of springiness about them. They cantilever a little bit. We've got quite thick wheels on these. However, we still have brakes almost in line with the wheel edges there, which looks pretty cool. But this is a plastic moulding, and I don't think it's really the best I've ever seen from Marklin, to be honest. The top has been painted silver, and underneath the veranda here you can see that some of the masking isn't too good on the edges. This has got a few bashes because these are old models. I got these second hand in a job lot, so I'm not actually sure how much these would cost if you were to purchase them separately, but I wouldn't think you'd be paying much more than £10 for these. Probably if you could bulk these up you'd get them for maybe £5 each. On the roof there's a couple of little air vents moulded into the plastic. In the green we've got like second class here. We've got some information that you'd expect on the side of a green coach here. And the windows have got these brown surrounds. Not very well done, they're not flush fit either. And the plastic's quite opaque, but we do actually have an interior inside here. You can maybe just see some seats there in brown plastic. There's a little bit of decoration in the corners, these little indication of the brackets. And at the ends there's no glazing, but we have a door there. And at the end here we have a little veranda part which is made of plastic. It's part of the chassis. We also have steps coming down and the buffers all integrated into the same piece of plastic, which is the chassis. And it actually has a lot of detail moulded in here, all the bracing and some indication of brake parts. Not too bad overall, I think, underneath. But this does look like a fairly basic model. I guess it must have been in a budget range or maybe in a starter train set or something. But let's move on and have a look at the baggage car. I think this is an even cheaper model than the second class coach we just saw because there's no glazing on this one at all. They've got some printing on the edges here, and again it's a silver roof which is part of the main moulding. It's just been masked off and spray painted. However, we do have this extra piece on the roof here, the lookout part. It doesn't have any glazing though, and again it's got a silver roof painted on there. The underneath of this is exactly the same as the coach. It's the same chassis and also the steps. This moulding isn't too bad. It's got quite a good definition of the planking on this. The door doesn't look too bad at all. And on the other side the door is moulded open. However, you can see inside that there's absolutely no features in there at all. This one does have a bit of a wonky coupling here. I think it's had a bit of a bash at some point. I'll need to straighten that one out. I'm bringing in this model here, which is actually from Fleischmann, around about the same time I think. And okay, this one has got a little bit of rust going on here and there. But it's good to compare this to the other one we just had a look at from Marklin, and I would probably say these are very comparable. The Marklin one seems to have a bit better definition of the planking, but the Fleischmann one has much more decoration on it. Its chassis is much worse though. The brakes aren't in line with the wheels, and also we got plastic wheels with metal axles. So the Marklin one definitely beats it in that respect. But overall there's really not that much in it between these two. So two budget Marklin models here. I'm going to put them on the scales and we'll see how much they weigh. So the Marklin coach weighs 51 grams. And the baggage car is quite light at 42 grams. And surprisingly the Fleischmann baggage car is exactly the same weight. So these two models from Marklin, now I'm not exactly sure where they came from, whether they came in a budget train set or maybe they were marketed separately. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that they're quite old and they're really showing their age now as well. They've obviously been made to a budget and that really shows on these models, but what is good about them is that they can be picked up fairly cheaply and added to your layout, and they, look acceptable enough going along on the track. So if you're really strapped for cash, I would maybe have a look for these models, but I actually think they're quite rare. I've never seen these before. I've seen loads of the tinplate models, so you might have to look out for these models coming up in the second-hand market, and you should be able to get them really cheap. However, that all said, if you're looking for some really nice, good quality items, this isn't it, even if they have the Marklin brand name. But that's just what I think. What do you think about these models? Let me know in the comments below. I'll put these on the turntable so you can see all the way around. And in a moment, another video will appear. Just click on that and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
So model train, model worlds, choo choo, model trains, tiny train in tiny worlds, choo choo, model trains. train, model world. Choo choo, model trains, tiny train, and tiny world. Choo choo.